There is no prize that will not rust. There is no beauty that will not fade. There is no weakness that will not die. So why live? For what are you going to live? Retirement? Ease of life? You were made for much more than that. You were made in the Imach Dei. You were made in the image of God. Let me show you a passage that someone ought to write a book about. Because it's been lost. Because it seems, well, let me read it. Let me read you. And I would guarantee that if I read this and didn't tell you it was in the Bible, some of you would think that I got it from Spartan literature. Look how Paul describes a Christian. Now just listen. To those who by perseverance in doing good seek for glory and honor and immortality. Does that not sound like something pulled out of a Spartan, book of war? I am so tired of this effeminate, passive, pitiful, monkish Christianity. The kind that does this and cowers. It's not what we see here. What do we see? Seeking for glory. If this wasn't in the Bible, immediately some of you says, no, we're not supposed to seek for glory. We're supposed to seek for the glory of God. Well, actually, Jesus talks about it being good to seek glory from God. Not just seeking the glory of God, but seeking glory from God. Just look for a moment. Just look over at John 5:44. He says, talking to the leaders of the day, how can you believe when you receive glory from one another and you do not seek the glory that is from the one and only God? Jesus put his seal on it. And so Paul is not wrong, is he? There should be a sense, and not just in you men, but in you women, that you desire. There's something in you that wants to fight until your name is called. And you drop your sword and you pass through those gates bloody and beaten, looking for a smile. Well done. Well done. Judge me. I don't care. I want that. I may long for that more than anything else I long for. I remember my father was a big man. He was a strong man. He was a scary man. But I wanted to please him. And I remember I'd be, in a basketball game. When I scored, it was automatic. When I scored, it was look up and see if he's looking. That's all I wanted. See if he's looking. I haven't changed. I haven't changed. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's one of the things. People say, what drives you? We could understand you talking this way and living the way you do, when you were 26 years old and in the jungles of Peru. But why now? You're 61 years old. It's the same thing. Every night, throw down my sword and look up. Did you see that? Are you looking? To seek for glory and honor and immortality. Imagine In Peru, there's a saying, or my friends used to use it. I don't know if it's a national saying or not, but the saying was this. I had a friend, Paco Laos, he would say, "Tu vives porque el aire es gratis." The only reason you're alive is because air is free. You don't do anything with your life. That's what it means. Think about this. There are men of extraordinary strength. I love to watch Olympic lifting. It's absolutely astounding. Extraordinary strength. And one day they will be so weak someone will have to lead them to the bathroom. There are women of extraordinary beauty. But it flowers so quickly and then it fades. There are men and women of noble lineage. What have they done? They've given their entire lives to build kingdoms and nations that have a semblance of nobility. Look at the people who even built this nation. And yet all their effort, some of them gave their own life. All their genius, all their brilliance, all their work, all their labor, everything, and now look. It didn't last. One regime comes and replaces another. Everything turns to dust. There's no meaning. There's no kingdom in this world that you can build that will not crumble. There is no thing that you can chase that will not elude you. There is no prize that will not rust. There is no beauty that will not fade. There is no weakness that will not die. So why live? Well, if we were in the world, we wouldn't have an answer. But we have an answer. There is out there an eternal glory, an eternal honor. There's immortality. There is serving a king who is incorruptible. There is living for a kingdom, fighting for a kingdom, dying for a kingdom that will never, never end. And I'll be honest with you, I want to hang my shield in the hall that is there in heaven. I learned this before I ever became a believer. As I said, I feared my father and I admired my father. And when I was 17, my father and I were building a fence for our horses. And we were running wire, which meant we had a roll of wire and a big iron bar in between us. The roll of wire was hung there and we would stretch out the wire. We were talking about things. I was almost his height. He was twice as broad as me. And all of a sudden, I heard him scream. I was walking and I heard him scream. I dropped the wire. I caught him. We fell to the ground. He was dead. I worked on him for, 10 minutes with what I had learned about CPR and everything, and then had to run across the field, jump across the fence, flag down a car. He's dead. At that moment, I realized it didn't matter how rich you are, you will die. Doesn't matter how strong you are, you will die. Doesn't matter if you fall in love. She will die. You will die. Doesn't matter if you build an empire and you're the richest man in the world. You will die. It's all futility. It's all vanity. It's stupid. And if there is a God, it's cruel. And after 5 years, 4.5 years of drunkenness, sin, debauchery, anger, disgust, stupidity, someone told me about Jesus. Gave me a Bible. I opened it up one day. It said, man's days are like grass, as the flower of the field, so he flourishes. But the wind passes over him, he is no more, and the place acknowledges him no more. I got so angry, I laid that on the bed, or threw it on the bed. In a horrific response, I said, "Thank you for telling me something I didn't know." My dad was the world to me. He was important. In his funeral, people were talking about the weather or sports. When the wind passed over him, he was no more, and the place acknowledged him. Well, I was so angry. Then I went back, picked the book up. But the love of the Lord is everlasting on those who fear him. Everlasting. Everlasting. There it is. There it is. I die. I rise again. I grow weak. I'm raised incorruptible. I look down with the woman that I've lived with for 40, 50, 60 years. Her beauty gone, her body withered. She breathes last. I've just sent her on ahead. I'll see her again. You see, the gospel of Jesus Christ, as one of my friends wrote in their dissertation, the gospel of Jesus Christ is this. With his resurrection, he rips the lid off the tomb and fills the darkness with light. This is what he is. This is what he does. You say, Brother Paul, this is talking about growing to maturity. Why? Because of the hope that is before you. You need to grow to maturity for his honor. You need to grow to maturity. Why? A battle is coming that is beyond what you are right now. You need to grow to maturity. Why? To serve him. You need to grow to maturity. Why? Because it has meaning. An athlete that trains, it's amazing. In some countries, they find an exceptionally, for example, in China, they find an exceptionally strong boy at the age of 5. They begin to train him in Olympic lifting. They see he's gifted. They're some of the best Olympic lifters in the world now. But it means the moment they spot him, everything in his life changes. He no longer eats what everyone else eats. He doesn't sleep like anyone else sleeps. He doesn't go out and play after school. His whole entire life is devoted to one thing. And when he's 19 or 20, he competes in the Olympic Games and he wins a gold medal. That's not really gold. And then he dies. But look at his life. I've written a book, The Preeminent Christ, and in that I put that if we will just look at certain secular people in certain secular situations, it ought to be a rebuke to us. A man who will literally lose everything to amass wealth, and yet we can't lose anything to gain wealth in heaven. An athlete who will train for a gold medal that's not gold, and yet we will not train ourselves, discipline ourselves for the purpose of godliness, so that when we stand before him on that great day, we get glory, honor, and immortality. Do you see? Oh, young people, don't lose your life. Don't lose your life. There's nothing you possess in this world that you can hold on to. Nothing. But you can send it all ahead of you. And he is so faithful. I have walked with him for over 40 years now. Not one of all his good words that he has spoken has fallen to the ground undone. I have contributed nothing to my salvation but my sin, and nothing to my ministry but my weakness. And yet he has been faithful. Do I have any regrets? I regret nothing that I have given him. I regret only that which I have kept for myself. Why are you alive? For what are you going to live? Retirement? Ease of life? You were made for much more than that. You were made in the Imach Dei. You were made in the image of God.